This project started in 2012 when Marty Markowitz had the dream of creating a permanent home for the famous Seaside Summer Concert Series. And interesting, at the same time, we at iStar had the dream of saving the historic Childs Building from collapsing and jump-starting the rebuilding of Coney Island's west side. So together, these dreams are what you see here today. A beautiful park and playground, this incredible Ford Amphitheater, and the restoration of this one-of-a-kind Childs Building that you see behind me. And even better, and this is really thanks to the efforts of the de Blasio administration, Borough President Adams, Councilmember Traeger, all of whom you'll hear from shortly. We are now on the path to developing hundreds of units of affordable housing and planning additional market rate housing and retail just across the street. So this is a pretty amazing project, and I wanted to just share with you, how does it all happen? You know, sometimes they say it takes a village. Well, this project took 3 villages, and the commitment of many, many, many people. And I just want to give you a short list of those people who deserve thanks, and I'm not going to be able to get to everybody, but in addition to Mayor de Blasio, Borough President Adams, Councilmember Traeger, Assembly Member Pamela Harris, who you'll hear from later, former Borough President Marty Markowitz. Woo! We need to thank a lot more people. The team at City Planning Commission and its chair, Carl Weisbrod. The Economic Development Corporation President and CEO, Maria Torres Springer, and her amazing team, some of whom I saw here earlier. We have to thank John Paul Lupo and Carl Cesura for their tireless efforts and support of this project. And one of our favorite guys, our community partner, Coney Island USA, and its president, Dick Zigan. And Deborah Garcia, who is going to run a great Seaside Summer Concert Series this year. I'm going to have the honor of introducing Alan Osfield, the president of Live Nation, North Atlantic. You're going to hear about an incredible lineup of shows they've put together for us. Brett Yormark and our friends at Brooklyn Sports and Entertainment, who not only run Barclays Center and Brooklyn Nets and New York Islanders, but they helped bring us a perfect naming partner, Tri-State Ford Dealers, who are represented here today by John Billard. Where's John? There you go. John Billard, chairman of the Tri-State Ford Dealers Advertising Board. John, we thank you for support, and we look forward to having these 2 iconic brands, Coney Island and Ford, together for many, many years. Let me finish with one last thank you. You know, we hear a lot of talk about the 3 Ps. I don't know if you've heard that, public-private partnerships. I want to add a 4th P, passion. This project had so many talented people working around the clock to make it a reality. And I want to at least thank, inside of iStar, Julia, Jeff, Carl, and all the folks from iStar, the amazing folks at EDC, the mayor's office, without whom we would not be here today. So thank you, guys. Okay, now for the fun part. I'm pleased to announce the Ford Amphitheater will have its grand opening celebration this July 4th weekend, and we're announcing the lineup to include the Impractical Jokers, Sting and Peter Gabriel, and the Beach Boys. Very exciting weekend. And here's something you should all be proud of. We've got over 200 employees from the local community who've already started work here. And once the Childs Building reopens next year, that number's going to grow even larger. So this is a great day for Brooklyn. It's a great day for Coney Island. It's a great day for New York City. And we've got an impressive group of speakers who are going to share with you part of that vision of how Coney Island is not only coming back, but is back. And I want to start with someone who I think you all know, the Brooklyn Borough President, Eric Adams. He's got a storied history of public service, first as a New York City police officer, New York State Senator, now as president of one of the city's real crown jewels, the Borough of Brooklyn. In the last 2 years as Brooklyn's president, Eric Adams has effectively led the way on behalf of the borough, Coney Island being no exception. Let's hear it for Brooklyn Borough President Eric Adams.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, and I would love to add a fifth P, and that's the people. The renovation of the Child's Building did not and was not child's play. It was about creating an environment where the people of this community and of this borough and of this city can come and enjoy America's playground. And this romance novel, love affair with a borough, did not start in my chapter. The chapter began so many years ago, and oftentimes people reflect on the chapter that we're currently in. The sentence started when Howard Golden saw the possibilities of building a Marriott in downtown Brooklyn, because Brooklyn was this great jewel. And the chapter continued when Marty Markowitz came into office and saw our possibilities, did not allow his eyes to get in the way of his heart, knew that Brooklyn had something special. We were made up of the best stuff on earth, and that's the people. And it continues now with my legacy, and will continue with other legacies. Brooklyn is in a way and on a path to greatness. This is one of the jewels that people will come, a safe place where they will enjoy an opportunity to raise healthy children and families with affordable housing, renovation of their child's building, this safe space that can be used often and in a creative fashion to continue to entertain, and bring families together. That's what Brooklyn was always about. That is what my predecessor understood. That is what his predecessor understood. And so we're in a good place, but we will never forget that it's about the people. Taxpayers' dollars, the people, the 200 employees that are here from this community, those community residents who will come and be part of the shows. This is what this endeavor was all about, and we cannot thank those who wrote the beginning chapters enough to say thank you for having a vision to bring Brooklyn in the right place, in the right direction. And I want to thank the mayor, Mayor Bill de Blasio, because there was many times during this conversation where we hit the bend in the road. And the bend in the road is not the end of the road unless you fail to make the turn. And we were able to make the turn because of their staff, his staff, and his team, and even the previous team of Carlos, and what you have done with Brooklyn in the chamber. Making that turn is what we have done so often. EDC President Maria Torres Springer, I don't know how many times we've been in Brooklyn together with the big check. Anytime you see her coming, you realize that money is on its way. And she has been in Brooklyn over and over again. As we, last year, was here looking at some of the sewage build-out that we're doing, just committed to the borough of Brooklyn. And you cannot say Coney Island without saying Mark Traeger. He has really taken, as the delegation leader for the council for the borough of Brooklyn, he has really been a voice for the people of Coney Island and for the people of Brooklyn. He has led the charge. We thank you, Councilman. We thank you, our Assemblywoman, a new Assemblywoman in Albany, making her mark, doing some great things here in Coney Island. And as I told our concert promoters earlier, I say it again, it always feels good when Live Nation is in the house. That's what my son says, so we want to thank Live Nation. Tri-State Ford dealers, I know there was mentioned Coney Island, USA. This is America Playground, 5,000-seat theater. You know, Marty, people wouldn't have thought this was possible. They would have thought that it was impossible to put a 5,000-seat theater. First show, the crowds were unbelievable. The quality that people felt they were not deserving of, we are showing them they are deserving of that quality, and we cannot say enough about that. Now, we have a great lineup of shows. I know Debbie's here. Debbie has probably lost so many hours of sleep of trying to put this together. So much happens behind the scene, and oftentimes those of us who are the principals at the front and have the star on the door, we really need to appreciate the co-stars in the supporting cast that really make this happen, and we cannot do it without them. Even Live Nation and iStar, your team and the team that have come together are amazing. And they're not on the stage with us, but we are on the stage because they built a solid platform that permits us to stand on it, and we need to acknowledge them for what they do every day. So this being the home of the Seaside Summer Concert Series, Today, after 4 years of labor, Marty is giving birth to this great initiative. He said he still has the stomach, but he's giving birth to this great initiative, and this is the home of the Seaside 2016 Seaside Summer Concert Series. July 21st, Billy Ocean will be here at 7:30. On the 28th, we're going to have Latino music by the sea, starring Victor Manuel. ABBA, the concert, a tribute to ABBA will be held on Monday, August 15th at 7:30 p.m. Additionally, there are 3 shows during the summer with Live Nation in conjunction with Summer Concert Series, an amazing initiative that has been put together. Thank you, for what you have did to assist us in this. On Monday, July 4th at 7 p.m., the Beach Boys, as it was mentioned. August 12th at 7 p.m., a Funk Fest celebrating and featuring Kool and the Gang with Morris Day and The Time, Bootsy, Rubber Band, and Dougie Fresh. On Thursday, August 18th at 7 p.m., Rick Springfield with Night Ranger and the Romantics. And so there's just so many ways to make this happen. And again, for ticket information, we're asking folks to go to brooklynconcerts.com or I'll call 718-222-0600. I feel like I just did a commercial. So I look forward to a great, safe summer. We have one of the best precincts here in this area. We want to thank the commanding officer and the precinct. It is my hopes that the only complaint we get is that we don't have enough parking because we're filling the bleachers. I say this over and over again, there's only 2 types of Americans, those who live in Brooklyn and those who wish they could. We're the lucky ones.
So that's the kind of passion we're looking for. Let me now introduce Councilmember Mark Traeger. Mark's passion for the history and public service has been evident in his advocacy on behalf of Coney Island and all of its diverse population. In just 2 years, he's been the neighborhood city council representative. Mark Traeger has become recognized for his leadership and his forceful voice in support of Coney Island's recovery and resiliency, and he's one of the reasons we're here today. Let's introduce Councilman Mark Traeger.
That was a pretty good speech, Borough President Adams. I'm sitting here and just in awe. It is extraordinary what happens when you invest resources in a neighborhood and have the will to get it done. This is remarkable. Let's give everyone who made this possible a round of applause. There were some folks who were walking by this project a few weeks ago saying it's not going to get opened up on time. It's here, and it's open. And I just want to say that it is one thing to listen to Sting and Peter Gabriel, but it's a whole other level to listen to them here in Coney Island, Brooklyn, USA. I also want to just echo the remarks and, of course, acknowledge and thank the vision of the former borough president, Marty Markowitz. This was his baby. This was something that he invested a lot of time and energy in seeing through. I want to thank, of course, as well, Carlos Azura. I want to thank, as well, the Alliance for Coney Island. I think Joanna Zaki is somewhere here, and John Dolan, the chair. Thank you for both, as well, for your support. We are in a legendary neighborhood. As mentioned, I'm a proud former history teacher, and there is so much rich history here in Coney Island, Brooklyn. And yes, we have some of the most beautiful beach with a beautiful boardwalk, which you know how much I love. But the greatest asset of this neighborhood is not the beach, not the boardwalk. It is the people. Right. It is the people that helped build Coney Island. And we are in the backdrop of recovering from the worst storm in the city's history. We were one of the hardest hit areas here. And this venue is a big part of a larger plan to help this neighborhood recover like never before. And as we will enjoy, and we've already enjoyed, the great sounds from this beautiful concert venue, what I truly appreciate about iStar, about Live Nation, and all the people that helped make this possible is that there was a commitment, and they are working to keep the commitment, on hiring the local residents to operate this venue. There should always be a win-win situation. Doesn't have to have losers in situations like this. And yes, as the borough president mentioned, we'll hear issues about parking and transportation, which we still must address. But there is always room for celebrations of culture and people here in Coney Island, Brooklyn. This is a venue that brings together our very diverse, vibrant, beautiful community. We are celebrating the very best of this neighborhood, Brooklyn, New York, and this country. Now more than ever, we need to bring people together. And I do want to acknowledge and thank, as we did acknowledge and thank the former borough president and his team, I do want to acknowledge and thank as well this current administration. Because as the borough president mentioned, that this project did hit a couple of bumps in the road. And if it was not with the support of Mayor de Blasio and EDC President Maria Torres Springer and a number of city agencies, this would not have been possible. And I want to give them, please, a round of applause for their support. I also want to acknowledge Borough President Adams, who really helped get this project over the finish line as well. He and I dealt with the bumps in the road, and we met a number of times to make sure that this project came to fruition. I want to thank my outstanding colleague who pushed very hard for local hiring, Assemblywoman Pamela Harris, who deserves a big round of applause as well. So, having said that, I see also Keith Suber in attendance, a local Coney Island resident who I want you to know, when I took office, we worked with the aquarium, we worked even here to make sure that local Coney Island residents help build such venues like this. That's the partnership they're looking for. And as the borough president just mentioned, there will be free concerts here at this beautiful Ford Theater. There will be programs and events for the local community because this is your home, and we will always respect your home. So with that, yes, absolutely. With that, I give a heartfelt thanks for everyone that helped make this possible. We are in, again, a legendary neighborhood, and with this venue, we have just become that much more legendary. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mark. Now it's my honor to introduce a really special person, New York State Assemblywoman Pamela Harris. Pamela has distinguished herself as a vital and influential community leader on behalf of Coney Island community long before her election last year, and many of you may know some of those stories. And her resounding success on behalf of Coney Island's youth, working with neighborhood groups such as Coney Island Generation Gap, which she founded, has really been a cornerstone of her tireless efforts in support of the revitalization of Coney Island, and I couldn't be happier to have her speak right now. Come on up, Pamela.
Thank you so much. You know, I've had the privilege of doing some brainstorming in my own home. I've had the privilege of meeting with iStar and meeting with the Amphitheater in my home. I had the privilege of meeting many moons ago with Nate Bliss when we decided on putting to fruition the Greeters program. So I've had these great ideas right in my own home, and it's been great. So we've had this idea that an amphitheater would be built. But the true sentiment or that true words actually came from Marty Markowitz. When he always used that sentiment, forget about it. And I know today that sentiment, forget about it, wasn't that you forget about this borough. That's what he was saying. Oh, no, no, no. Don't you dare forget about it, because you're not going to forget about our borough. You're not going to forget about his beloved Coney Island, his beloved Brighton Beach, his beloved Warbass, his beloved Trump, his beloved Seagate. So this is why this stands here. But I am so proud today to look into this audience and see the real hard workers. They are the Sheila Smalls, the Dion Browns, the Sharon Lundys, the Barbara Titlebaums, the Andrea, the Pamela Pettyjohns, the Keith Subas, the Barbaras, the Joannes. Those are the real, the Miriams. I just was getting ready. She moved over. Thank you, Miriam, for moving. Because I'm a little senior here. I'm 56. I do not remember. So all of the residents, and to my wonderful, illustrious district leader, Delia Schack, yes. The Makisha Rampasants, the Peggys, the Roys, the Races, the real people who actually had to put on earmuffs in order to make sure they didn't hear that noise. But all they did was call and say, it's okay, because my son will have a job tomorrow. It's okay. It's okay because we can now be entertained and we don't have to get on the train and go to Manhattan. It's okay because now we're allowed, Coney Island now, the vision that we've had through the eyes of Marty Markowitz is now come to fruition, and voila. Here it is. So I thank so much all of you. I thank my 60th precinct, which has the best officers, and I know I'm a little biased, but the 60th precinct and the 68th precinct has the best officers in the world. So I thank you all. I thank the residents here of Coney Island. Thank you so much for allowing this to come to fruition. And I love working with Julie Butler. You are phenomenal. Thank you all so very much.
Wow, thank you, Pamela. Really, we're not doing justice to some of these folks, but let me try to do so for our EDC President and CEO, Maria Torres Springer. Today marks a year since Maria was announced as the mayor's appointee as EDC's first female president, following a run as the city's Commissioner of Business Services. In the last year as EDC President, she has really skillfully led the administration's efforts to strengthen New York's competitive position while focusing on economic development and opportunity in all 5 of the city's boroughs. And I can tell you this project doesn't happen without her. Come on up, Maria.
Good morning, everyone. It is a real thrill for me to be here today together with so many members of the Economic Development Corporation's team to help open the Ford Amphitheater here at the Coney Island Boardwalk. We are just so privileged to have played our part to help pave the way for this extraordinary development, which will be such an exciting entertainment destination for all of New York City, certainly for the people of the borough of Brooklyn, and of course for the people in Coney Island. But it's really more than that. You know, what I've always believed, and what I tell new people who start at EDC and in city government, is that to do this type of work, one has to have, at the same time, 2 different attributes, and that is a real sense of urgency about the issues and about the projects, while at the same time having uncommon patience. And you have to have both of those to accomplish good things and to accomplish projects like this. And I'm proud that the team at EDC and across really the public and private sectors have really come together with those 2 attributes always in mind in order to see a day like this happen. But of course, today is a point in time. It's really part of a long and storied history of this great neighborhood. Since the first amusement parks opened here over 100 years ago, Coney Island has really shown the world how to have fun. As many people have mentioned, it has been the people's playground, where New Yorkers, families of all backgrounds, come to relax. And we're so excited to be continuing that rich legacy here at the Amphitheater. And so many amazing artists will be part of this just in the first few weeks and months alone. Of course, it's an exciting addition to a completely revitalized amusement district, including Luna Park, where we welcomed a record 1.5 million visitors just last season, and we're hoping to top that this season as well. What's more, this project will include the full restoration of the landmark Childs Building and more than 40,000 square feet of new open space, which should hopefully open to the public over the course of the next few weeks. Of course, we also know that Coney Island isn't just an incredible entertainment destination. It's also a diverse, vibrant, thriving residential community. And so that is why, under Mayor Bill de Blasio's leadership, and for the record, I owe the checkbook that I have to him, but it is really because of his leadership that we are making sure that the promise of the 2009 plan is fully realized. So what that has meant is over $180 million in the budget for critical infrastructure improvements in this area. New sewers, new streets, enhancements of several city facilities, and other projects that will help facilitate the development of mixed-income housing here in Coney Island. All of this and more is really part of our ongoing effort to make sure that we're not just preserving all that is great and all that is good about Coney Island's history, but we are building for the future and making sure that we are growing opportunities to live, to work, to play here in Coney Island. And of course, lastly, this is such a great job generator. More than 200 people will be employed by this facility. We have just several weeks ago did a number of screening events to make sure that it meant real access, real opportunities for the people of this community. I want to echo thanks to so many who have been part of this project. The other thing that I've always believed is that economic development is neither a sprint nor a marathon. It's really a relay race, and the people who have been part of this project have carried the baton over and over again to make sure that a day like this is something that we can all enjoy. Certainly, Borough Presidents Eric Adams and Marty Markowitz, Councilmember Mark Traeger, Assemblywoman Pam Harris, Dick Zigan, the incredible teams at iStar and Live Nation, and really all of you here today who have been part of this amazing, amazing project and will be really part of its future. So to everyone, congratulations. It's a thrill to be here today, and we will be watching with much interest as this neighborhood continues to thrive and prosper. Thank you very much.
Maria, thank you so much. Now I'm going to introduce somebody who's probably the most important person going forward. Alan Osfield is the president of Live Nation in the Northeast, and you're going to get a very short period of time because the mayor has showed up. So, but trust me, Alan's the person you want to know now. Now that it's built, this is the guy you want to know. So, Alan, come on up.
This is important. I get to upstage the mayor. That's the first in my career. Thank you, Jay. Most importantly, thank all of you. There are some very proud people here and out there. As I look at my great team and iStar's great team and the construction team, there's a lot of proud people who spent a lot of hard days, nights, hours making sure that this came to fruition. So we appreciate you being here to make this special for us. They all talked about a public-private partnership. Obviously, the first P is the public. This doesn't happen without the great vision and dedication and hard work from a variety of community leaders, and I want to make sure I take time to thank them. Obviously, Mayor Bill de Blasio, Borough President Eric Adams, Councilman Traeger, Assemblywoman Pam Harris, and EDC President Maria Torres Springer. The other people to thank is iStar. This project doesn't happen without the leader, the developer, iStar, led by Jay Sugarman, Carl Fry, I see up there, Julia Butler, Some great people at iStar really helped get us to where we are today, and we'd be remiss in not noting their extreme dedication, vision, and hard work. I also want to thank our partner in the entertainment scene in the New York metro area, and on this project, Barclays Sports Entertainment and Brett Yormark. They're going to help deliver ancillary programming. While we are driving the programming and the 40 shows, Barclays is going to make sure that there's family shows here and sporting events and everything that the community wants. So it's important that we have Barclays and Brett involved. The Ford partnership, these kinds of things don't happen without the support of great brands and great community entities like Ford. So thank you very much for being here with us. My great team at Live Nation, while I get the pleasure to upstage the mayor and stand up here, I have a great team of people who have spent far more hours than I have over the past year making sure that this worked. So Wayne, Dan, Craig, Donna, Dan Gormley, Jenna, I'm sure I'm missing people, but thank you all, because I'm not standing here, we aren't standing here without you all. And lastly, the people literally with whom, without whom we aren't standing here is the construction team. So Jeff Dewey and the great construction team at Hunter Roberts, we're not standing here without them. If they don't do what they did, thank you. If they don't do what they did to get everything done in time for Saturday's soft opening, and so we're able to kill it this weekend at the grand opening, we can't say enough about the work that they did, so thank you. We are thrilled to be here at Coney Island. We take our role in the entertainment scene and as a community partner very seriously, and it's a pleasure and an honor to be here at the Ford Amphitheater. This is this venue is going to be all that they all and others envisioned when they started it, which is it will be the cornerstone of enhanced entertainment options in Coney Island. It's going to provide well over 40 shows, incredibly diverse programming, places for families, places for friends, places for people to hang out. It's going to be exactly what the community wants it to be, and it's our great honor to be a piece of that puzzle. Live Nation does about 1,500 shows in the New York area each year in over 40 venues, and we entertain about 3 million fans each year. And from what I've seen over the past 4 or 5 months, as Jason and his great team have started to program the venue, there's going to be a buzz about this venue that we haven't seen in a long time. This is going to be an absolutely special place, and it's because it's Brooklyn, it's because the Atlantic Ocean is right there. This is a fantastic and fabulous setting and location that's going to make all of us proud. This venue, as you can see by the diverse programming and the 40-plus shows that we've already booked, has received great accolades from the artist community already, and that's vital to us. So while Live Nation brings the programming, what we need is the artists to understand that they want to be here. What we need are the managers to understand that they want their artists to play here. And when we call them, and when we say Brooklyn, and when we say Coney Island, and when we say on the boardwalk, and when we say on the beach, we get a reception that is heartwarming to us, wonderful for all of you, wonderful for this venue. And you see it now in the 40 shows that we have. There's 12 different genres of programming that's unheard of, and that's a testament to the all-important artist community and their reception. So this venue will be exactly what you want it to be. It'll be something for everybody. It'll be a cornerstone for development, and it'll add to the rich history that is Coney Island. Live Nation's thrilled to be here and thrilled to be part of Coney Island. Thank you.
Live Nation, they're going to do an incredible job here. We've seen the early results, and they're going to be amazing. Well, we talked about how much passion it takes to make a project like this happen, so I think it's incredibly fitting that we end with someone whose passion for New York City and Brooklyn is unmatched. And I'm delighted he's with us here today to mark this beginning of such an important project for all we're going to do here on the west side of Coney Island, Mayor Bill de Blasio.
Thank you so much. Well, this is a wonderful day for Brooklyn, coin a phrase, what's good for Brooklyn is good for New York City. I want to thank Jay for the fantastic collaboration on this project. This took a lot of work. A lot of great people here contributed to this success. I want to thank you all. Very proud to officially open this amphitheater. Now, our friend from Live Nation said they already have programmed 12 different genres of music, and that's exceptional, that's extraordinary. Well, no, I would say that's Brooklyn, because we have it all, every kind of person, every culture, every nation of the world represented, and that's what makes us great. So I'm thrilled to hear that the music industry is reacting with such energy to this location, because this location has it all. Look at it. How many venues in this whole nation can boast of such a beautiful view of the Atlantic Ocean and open air and Coney Island, the legend of Coney Island, a legend that grows now. This is going to be one of the special places in New York City. And it proves that the greatest city in the world can keep getting greater. So I want to thank everyone who is a part of making this happen. I especially want to thank the people of Coney Island, because Coney Island is legendary because of its people. Let's remember that. This place, to me, whenever I talk to people from around the nation, around the world, who say they want to understand New York City, they want to see the true New York City, I say to them, and I've been saying this long before I was mayor, I say one of the places you have to go is Coney Island, because this is our truest self. This is a place for everyone. You come to this beach on a summer's day, it's the United Nations. And this neighborhood is full of energy and strength and resiliency and spirit and good times and bad, and that is New York City. So I really want to pay tribute to the people of Coney Island who have given the spirit and the personality to this great destination for decades and decades. This is a triumph today for the people of Coney Island as well. Now, we always invoke the phrase, success has many mothers and fathers. My wife, Charlene, has insisted that I order it properly. Success has many mothers and fathers. But in this case, I want to call out a father in particular, because there was a visionary born in Brooklyn years ago. And if you watched him in his time as borough president, you know, you sometimes were tempted to say, is that idea actually going to ever happen? Whatever it was. He had more than one. But there is a place in this world for sheer force of will and for vision and for love of your borough and your people. So, my dear friends, let's thank Marty Markowitz. And let's thank his inspiration, Jamie Markowitz. Thank you. Marty, you kept coming back year after year with those wonderful concerts, and you wanted something even more. So I hope today you're feeling an incredible satisfaction that your dream came true. Congratulations. Now, as JFK once said, the torch has been passed to a new generation. And our borough president, I am very proud to be a Brooklynite. And one of the reasons I'm proud to be a Brooklynite is because of Borough President Eric Adams, who's doing an amazing job for this borough. And I can safely say one of the people I partner with the most in the work of this administration to create a more equitable city and a city for everyone. He feels it in his heart and soul. I know this is a day he's celebrating because of what it means for this borough and its continued prominence. You know, Eric, just recognize now the word Brooklyn all over the world is synonymous with cool and happening and modern and everything people want in their lives, and you govern over that. Thank you, Eric Adams. Thank you to our colleagues in government, our partners in all we do, Councilmember Mark Traeger and Assemblymember Pam Harris. Thank you very much to both of you. Thank you to all the community leaders, all the economic development officials. Special thank you to my friend Carlos Shishura, the president of Brooklyn Chamber of Commerce. And a big thank you to Maria Torres Springer and everyone at EDC. This is an achievement you have a lot to be proud of for. Now, very quickly, Coney Island. So, you know, when Lawrence Ferlinghetti wrote A Coney Island of the Mind, and it's sort of one of these great phrases that captures the fact that Coney Island is something bigger than life, and it has been for so long, because it captures the human experience, everything that we hope for, everything we love, yes, some of our flaws and foibles as well. But the humanity, the energy, the intensity of Coney Island have always been what have drawn people to it. This is the place, in many ways, this is where the concept of the amusement park was born, because it captured that human desire for the thrill and the opportunity to gather together and experience something new. Coney Island has always been that. But again, more than that, Coney Island has been a neighborhood for everyday people who struggled and strived. It's not been a favored neighborhood over the years. It's not been the easiest place. It's been a place for people who worked hard. And it's been a place that deserves more of a break. And we have endeavored to make the investments that will help to build the Coney Island of the future as a place for everyone. Now, after Sandy hit, I spent a lot of time here. And I have to tell you, the admiration I have for the people of Coney Island, how they dealt with that challenge and how they continue to move forward since. It's an example to this whole city. And this amphitheater is one form of investment, and it's a crucial one, because it's already brought 250 jobs, and we are very adamant about jobs benefiting the local community and the local borough to the maximum extent. So under our Hire NYC initiative, 182 of those jobs are held by Brooklynites and 48 of them by Coney Island residents. There's 40,000 square feet of green space for every member of the community to enjoy. And this is part of a bigger vision, $180 million investment in Coney Island and its future. And we want it to be a place for everyone. We want it to be sustainable and resilient. And so we're going to be putting in the kinds of investments that will help Coney Island weather the future. New streets at higher grades, upgraded sewer systems, all the basics. And this is my particular passion, 1,000 affordable apartments will rise in this neighborhood. 1,000 affordable apartments. Next year, we'll break ground on at least 300, and they'll be home, because a lot of people ask me, Eric, you've asked me this, everyone asks me, what is affordable? Well, on the homes we'll be breaking ground on next year, they will be available to New Yorkers earning as little as $20,000 a year. So truly affordable. So this place symbolizes the strength and the beauty of this neighborhood. It's an absolutely beautiful facility. It's going to be a place people want to come to from all over the city and from much farther. It's going to be one of the exciting places in this city. And I congratulate everyone who made it happen. And just a few words in Spanish. Hoy me siento muy feliz de inaugurar este maravilloso anfiteatro, que es parte de nuestro plan para continuar el progreso de Coney Island. Hemos realizado grandes inversiones en esta comunidad, incluyendo 1,000 unidades de vivienda asequible, como todos los neoyorquinos. Los residentes de Coney Island merecen una comunidad próspera y creciente. And we will prosper and grow together, brothers and sisters. Congratulations.
Mayor, thank you so much. I have to ask you one more favor. We wanted to thank and have all of you and everybody on the stage thank the people who actually built this incredible project.
Very nice, Senator. Well done. Getting a standing ovation.
Some of these guys have been working around the clock the last month, so they deserve everything we're giving them. Okay, we're going to do the official ribbon cutting, and then you're welcome to join us for refreshments. Actually, our on-site concessionaire legends will be providing them, so please feel free to stay around after. But I think we're going to do a ceremonial ribbon cutting. There's the giant scissors.
The giant scissors are here.